Start with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. We will start as usual with comments from the audience. Is there anyone out there who would like to make a comment this evening?
I'm Kate Duffy. I'm here on behalf of Bolton High School's project graduation, and I'm here to request of you guys to set a graduation night, or graduation date, so that we can move forward with project grad planning and events.
Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment this evening? Okay, additions to the agenda. Do we have any of those? Okay. Moving on to routine business and the approval of minutes. We have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of the August 21st, 2025 Board of Education business meeting.
A second.
Does anyone have any questions, comments, or edits on these minutes? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? Alrighty, on to Board of Ed committee reports and finance.
Sure. So the finance committee met today. 4 things to go over. The first thing is the Board of Ed transfers listing. So in your materials, you should have the transfers. There's nothing significant there requiring individual approval, but looking for a motion for approval of these transfers. Andy, maybe if you want to have the full motion, whenever you finish.
We have a motion, please, to approve the July and August transfers.
June.
Oh, June, I'm sorry. June transfers, rather. That's what that word says. Do we have a second? Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments on these?
The only thing I'd point out is the larger item for about $1,000 is just transfers within transportation. So it's just between transportation home to school versus transportation with BOAG and tech school transportation. But all of their transfers are below $50.
Yeah, they're small. Does anyone have questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? All right. Is there more finance?
Yeah, so the second item is just closing out the prior year budget for FY 2025. In your packet, you will see that as well. No surprises there. We're about 98% expended. So that leaves $236,000 remaining that returns to the town for contribution of the next year budget. So nothing to vote on there, but just an update as we close out the fiscal year.
I think so. I think we had already agreed to that, hadn't we?
That we are able to.
Okay.
Okay. And then as it relates to the current year budget, so FY 26, projecting full expenditure there. Again, no surprises, especially given where we are, in the fiscal year at this point. We are projecting 5% expenditure, and that is very consistent with the prior year, as well. So no significant unexpected expenses have come up so far to follow up. And then the last item, there also is an item a sheet in the budget packet for district activity funds. So every year around this time, we do look for approval of the board for approval of activity funds. So at BCS, we have about 15,000. And then at BHS, there's about 25,000. And those are, unrestricted, non-fiduciary type, funds. So, student collection on, sports, type of items. So, Andy, I think there's a motion.
Yes, that was my confusion.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a motion to approve the non-fiduciary fund balances as of June 30th, 2025, and to be carried over to the fiscal year 26.
So moved. Second.
Are there any questions or comments about any of these figures or funds?
Yeah, it's a pretty good amount of money and like, when, and how do we spend it down? And what do we looking to do for that? Like events, student events or?
Are we talking about the beta plan?
Yeah,
Okay. Those are basically all, they go back to the athletic program, so.
Okay.
But if you look, you see what the sources are, so you see that that account is pay to play.
Yep.
And then you see that the source of the funds are the pay to play fees, and then you see that the uses are as.
so the money goes back into the
It
program.
goes back
Yes,
to the
awesome.
program.
Love it.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
And then nothing else from finance.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? All right, thank you. Community meeting reports. Is there anyone who will spend any of those or talk about PTA since there's no one here?
Sure. I was not at the meeting. I was coaching soccer, but I heard it was a great meeting. Superintendent Caruso was there. There's lots of new faces. He asked me to mention they have first bingo this weekend, that they're working with the Lions Club on. They have the walkathon, which is their biggest fundraiser of the year, on October 16th. Trunk or treat that they partner with the rec department is October 24th, and that's at BCS. And if they have scheduled Corey the Dribbler September 22nd coming, and they are scheduled, I think they're in the works of scheduling an author visit for the center school. So doing a lot of things.
Thank you. Those are all things more than what I could about. Did a better job than I could have. Is there any other meetings to report on? Chris isn't here for scholarship, so yes, nothing from policy. All right, we'll now turn things over to the superintendent for tonight's superintendent reports.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Feel like a lot has happened since the last time we met, including the opening of school, which started with a great convocation day. I felt like the energy, the staff coming back was really positive. I think people are excited to get back. As much as I think educators like the summer, I think they really enjoy getting back and seeing the kids and getting back in routine. So that was really good. Mr. Duffy did an awesome job welcoming the staff back and giving some awesome comments from the Board of Education, which was really nice. Lindsay Pelletier, Teacher of the Year, gave an amazing speech. I thought it was really inspiring and talked a lot about self-care and balance and the power of relationships and the power of connections that she has with students. And we know that in classrooms, in schools, it all starts with relationships with our students, making those positive connections so that they feel a sense of belonging and support all the way through. So that was really good. Student council at the high school decorated the hallways to welcome ninth graders in. I know that could be a little intimidating for them to come into the school, but I thought the current high school kids did a great job welcoming the ninth graders into the school. That was really nice. Again, kids getting back into routines and structures with their classes right away. I was able to visit every classroom on the first day. And it was really neat seeing them get right into having the kids get into the structures, get the routines, because, that sets the foundation for success in the classroom, be able to have really productive learning activities from here to the end of the year. So they set a nice tone early on, which was great to see. PTO meeting was unbelievable. It's probably the most impressive PTO meeting I've ever been to. The energy in that room was through the roof. It was probably partly because of the pizza and the snacks, but the energy from the adults there was amazing, and the amount of time and energy that the PTA puts into providing awesome things for our kids is really amazing. So kudos to them. We had our last hire, our instructional coach started at BCS yesterday. And so we're looking forward to the contributions she's going to make to instruction in the classroom, providing really integral support to our teachers in implementing the new reading program, looking at student data, and really being able to dig into how our kids are doing, what they need, and how we're going to get them what they need, so to make sure that all our kids are performing to their ability and where we want them to be. So really excited to have that coach in place. I think she's going to be a really key part to what we're doing at that school. Really looking forward to her contributions. Athletics is in full swing. It's soccer, volleyball, cross country. Good participation. Kids are really excited and energized to get going. Boys soccer had an awesome win today. The girls volleyball is currently playing in the gym right now. And so it's really nice to see our student athletes participating and getting the whole school experience and not just the classroom, which I think is really nice. Class of 26 has already started to celebrate their senior year. Hard to believe, but they made a sunrise visit to Rose Farm one morning for a nice photo. Last week, the picture came out. It was one of those, and we've had a lot of really good mornings, but this was a pristine morning, perfect. And I thought that was a really nice way to kick off their senior year. So that was really nice. K-5 meet and greet was really, really well attended. I was really happy to be able to meet a ton of families and to see them come in and get excited about seeing their teacher and their classroom and their locker, and they all had their little backpacks, and it was really cute. So that was really nice. Also, we got to ride the kindergarten bus on the first day of school. That was a highlight of the school year already. That was awesome. I've heard before, and I know this is true now, if you ever have a bad day, go visit the kindergarten classes. So it was really neat being with them and hanging out with them. And they were great. They did a nice job and not having any idea what's going on for school, and they were fantastic. That was really neat to see them. Let's see. Early release PD day that the board has fully supported. Our first one's tomorrow, and I know the staff is really looking forward to having that time to look at data, to look at student samples that they have right now, and then really game plan next steps. I think that's one thing in a regular school day that can get lost, and I think teachers never have enough time, and that planning piece is critical. And so those half days really come in handy for them to get together and collaborate and talk about how their kids are doing, what they need, and next steps. Looking ahead, BCS open house is September 25th. The high school open house was last Thursday. My days are running together. Last Thursday, again, pretty well attended. It was neat seeing the seniors in the hallways helping the tour guides. That was neat to see. And it was great, again, seeing the families come in and tour around the school and see where the kids go to classes and meet the teachers. So.
Anyone have any questions?
I love the kindergarten budget.
Yeah,
That's
pretty good.
I thought
Tough
the
to top that one.
open house was great too.
All right. Have no unfinished business. We do have a little bit of new business, and that is the DHS graduation date that we heard about in public comment. Do we have any information? So looks like our current 180th day of school is Tuesday, June 9th. So we're looking for a motion to set the graduation date for Tuesday, June 9th, 2025 for Bolton High School.
Someone.
There's a second.
No second.
Questions, comments? A couple years ago, I think was the first time that we did this prior to the winter time, when we had an idea of when the actual last day of school was gonna be, and I always wondered why it needed to be so early that we did this. So I guess I was wondering if, like, instead of a Tuesday, we can assume we'll have some snow days. Would we want to set it later than that? How did it work out last year? It was a Monday night. I mean, Kate is no longer here, right? But you were a graduating parent last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Um,
thought it was all right on Monday. It wasn't a big deal.
and we had always heard that, well, the seniors are mostly done by then. And they are not missing instruction time, but I guess I'm wondering, since last year. We did have Monday and then the last day of school was Thursday. What happened on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday? Well, you're right. So I should look at you. What do they do? What do they do for those
A
days?
lot of times seniors have exams, and if you have a certain GPA, you don't have to take exams.
Mr. Chairman, are you asking about the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after the graduation day? Mr.
Yeah,
The seniors are done. They've met the requirement of 180 days and they're done. So the rest of the students are here and the seniors are not.
but did they have 180 days of school got canceled like for 3 days or whatever?
That's the new law that came in 3 years ago that led to the conversations at the board level. The state now allows us to lock in as long as the vote, say tonight, is for 180 days. Canceled days do not impact that date. Basically, the number of required days for seniors is lowered based on the original date that you set.
So they really had 177 days
Correct.
at that time. But I mean, not that I know that the last few weeks of school.
Oh, they were
Their
checked out.
senior year, they are.
I guess it comes down to are people okay with having a Tuesday versus a
Yeah.
Thursday or a Friday?
But if the actual, we can usually assume the last few years, we've been canceling school quite a lot. So like, we can assume that the last day of school would actually be a Friday. Would the parents really rather have it be on a Friday? Is that better for traveling family members? That, I mean, we have to set the day this early for planning purposes, because people are coming from out of town and you want to get a venue for the party afterwards, like, is that? I'm just trying to understand this.
The only thing is I don't know how the track schedule is gonna work out this year. But, it's a little bit earlier than, in a date than we had this past year. The Class S, state meet for track was June 2nd. So I don't know, it could be getting a little close to that.
You're going back.
I'm going back and looking right at this past year. Were we gonna run into anything that, there was one thing where it was like, the field day for. I don't remember what's going on. The field day landed on a track meet. The seniors, whatever, so all the track kids couldn't go to their offsite field day or whatever because they had a track. So I'm just looking like we want to leave some room for track meet stuff or something. It should be done by then.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around how the whole thing works out, because this was a new thing a couple of years ago, and I was like, well, do we really need to plan this far ahead? And we don't really know what if we have a 10 cancellation winter, then, is that too far in advance? Like if we have a really bad winter or say an October snowstorm or whatever.
Can I ask a question? What about, why was this date picked,
Because it's
the
just-
9th? Why was it not maybe the 10th or the 11th for snow days? I mean, there must have been a rationale around this date.
It's the 100 days.
There's a number of.
It's just
yeah,
180 days.
Just that-
From our
And
first
it
base, yeah.
doesn't matter now because of the law, change in the law.
Correct.
Don't make the seniors stay one extra day.
Did project graduation
My only
start planning
question is-
anything yet?
That's what they're trying to figure out.
Because,
Exactly.
yeah,
Like,
we
they need,
booked a place.
they need that,
Yeah, for
When's it
project
easier to
track.
book a place? Is it easier to book a place midweek? Or
Probably.
is it easier to book a place on a Friday night?
I think that it'd be probably more expensive to do it on a Friday night.
There you go. It's a consideration as well.
Yeah, for me, it's just what is the preference of families? Is it a Thursday, Friday, or is it just midweek, or maybe people don't care?
Yeah, if everyone's coming from out of town, you know, they make it easier for them. But then again, if there's no cancellation days, then all of a sudden you're graduating 3 days after the last day of school, that comes, come too. So,
It's kind of good in the middle of the week in case people were, I mean, if they're coming from out of town. But if people have weekend plans, a lot of people have weekend plans, then it's like, oh, we got graduation that week.
yeah, if somebody wants to boogie out for their summer
We put it in
vacation.
the week and they're gonna be there for it, right? And then folks coming from out of town, well, we're out of town folks, so.
Right.
I think it's probably good. Way it is,
Sure.
it's actually 180 days to vote.
I mean, in the past, it's been different days of the week and there's never been a real problem, right?
Yes, again, this would be the third year that we've done the table
Yeah.
80, and those are different days.
Right.
But even, you know,
The feedback I've gotten from families, if I may, is they are grateful that regardless of the day of the week, that they know in September.
Yeah.
For traveling purposes.
Yeah.
And then the added layer of the project graduation folks who, knowing the parents who have stepped up to lead this, my guess is there'll be, if you take action tonight, there'll be a deposit tomorrow. So they can get that locked in. There's one venue that only allows one high school at a time, which is very important for our safety. So we like to, take advantage of locking in the state. Not all schools do. But that has been a huge change in the workflow and the stress level on the project graduation parents.
That's helpful perspective.
I wonder over the last 3 years, since the law was changed, how many schools are setting their graduation date in September? Or maybe more are doing it each year now that they're now. Anyway, I was just trying, I just wanted to think aloud, and, like work it out, and how it works in my head. But does anyone have any other questions or comments? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
I,
Deposit away. All right, future business. I think we have any of that, right? So, we are now in record time looking for a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of finishing our discussion on the superintendent's goals and to invite the superintendent.
I make a motion.
a second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, or abstaining?
Who seconded? Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
thank you.